Yeah.
Did you get high for this?
I got too high for this.
I sensed you were a little slow, so
Yeah, I mean,
that's all right.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody. We're your hosts, Ryan and Brittany.
What's up? What's going on with you? You said so you were sick.
Yeah, I had tonsillitis. I had it for like 8 days, which is exceptionally long for tonsillitis.
That's bad.
Yeah. Like the entire back of my throat was a swollen mass of infection. It was pretty
Did you
great.
have a voice?
I did, but I couldn't swallow. So I don't know. Like,
for your boyfriend.
I don't have one of those. So, lucky him. But yeah, so I am tomorrow is my last day on antibiotics. And
it's been 2 weeks already?
I have no concept of time.
I don't know. Yeah, same. I've been traveling, so like weekends are not weekends, and therefore weeks are not like weekdays are not weekdays, and it's very confusing. I don't know what time it is normally, and now I really don't know what time it is.
Yeah. I like for me last week like may as well be like last month. Like I really have no concept of like where I am in the cosmic linear timeline. Like it's
I think it's it's a social construct anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter that we don't know where we are.
Yeah. I mean, I just go with the seasons. That's how I know.
I look at the sun. That's how I know where I am. What else is going on? I'm glad you feel better.
Thanks. I wish I had a beer. That would hit me right now.
What you don't usually drink beer. What beer are you drinking these days? If you drink beer.
I don't. Yeah, I don't drink beer anymore. So it's whatever my not boyfriend drinks, essentially.
Got it. I don't remember what we used to drink in college.
I used to drink Long Trail. Do you remember Long Trail?
Of course. I was thinking about that a couple weeks ago. Really? That's your favorite?
I think so. Yeah. If you know how time goes past and you sort of romanticize things in your mind, but I remember it being just an amazing beer, and I think it's still my favorite. I think.
So, as someone from Pennsylvania, I'm sure you can. I don't know that you can appreciate this, but I used to feel that way about Yuengling.
Ew.
Because you could only get it in Pennsylvania. But then once they came to Connecticut, I was so excited. I went out and bought a 6-pack or whatever. And I tried it and I was like, this isn't that good. Is it only good when I'm in Philly? Like, why is this not?
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
I think it's just not good. It was just like I can't have it. So it seems like it should be good.
Maybe that's it. Because Yuengling is not, I'm sorry. I am so Philly and into my fucking Pennsylvania heritage.
Sure.
But Yuengling is gross. What is that supposed to mean? Yuengling is so gross. It's I guess I kind of compare it to like PBR in terms of
I mean, yeah, like I don't like PBR, but I also find myself ordering PBR when I'm out because it's cheap and it's not horrible. Like it's better than Coors Light. Not all the time, but it happens. If you're in a dive bar, I don't want to order something nice.
Yeah, no, I get Coronas. That's what I.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It's pretty reliable.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I still drink Sierra Nevadas. Still like those.
Haven't had one of those in a long time too.
Yeah, it's been a couple years. Well, maybe maybe like 2 years since I've had Sierra Nevada.
I think my theory about Yingling also applies to people that I'm attracted to because I saw a man today. No, wait, this is good.
All right.
I saw a man today and he's in a relationship and I was looking at him and I'm like, oh my God, I could swim in those dimples. I just want to run my hands through your hair. Like, you're just beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And then I left his place and whatever. This was a client, by the way. I'm not actually, like, nothing's happening.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
No, this was just a client, which is also like another reason why I can't have him, but more so because he's in a relationship. I got in the elevator and I was like, you know what? Is he even that cute? Or is it just because, like, he's kind of cute and I can't have him, so it seems like he's more attractive?
All right. Wait a minute. Because, no. Because you do this thing. You have the habit of doing this thing of, like, ruining men in your mind. Like, you will make up things to be wrong with men. He's probably, like, an amazing person. He's like the hottest thing since like sliced bread. That's not.
You're not helping me right now.
But no, that's what I'm pointing out to you. But here you are, like doubting your attractiveness to this man for no reason. You do this all the time. So,
but I do this with people that are single and available too. So like, what's that
that's
all
what
about?
I'm saying. We got to get to the bottom of this. So everybody, the last time I went to visit Brittany, I didn't go to visit her.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, I'm going there. There. Last time I was in LA, I had a breakup, a pretty significant relationship ended. And I decided to take myself on a very expensive trip to LA to treat myself. Instead of like eating a pint of ice cream, which I think is a lot healthier, right? A lot better.
A lot more expensive, but a lot healthier.
So anyway.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. As part of the trip, I wanted to take a helicopter ride because I had never done it before. So I bring along my best friend, Brittany.
Of course.
And we get there and we meet our pilot, who's a very nice young man named Ryan, I believe. Was his name also Ryan?
No.
Oh, where did I get that from?
I don't know. Our financial guy at the bank is Ryan.
He's also love Ryan at the bank, our bank man. He's the best.
Shout out Ryan at the bank.
He's amazing. I love him so much. But this his name was I think I remember his name now. I won't say it though. Anyway.
I don't care, but
yeah, I think it was like Tyler or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's maybe that's why I thought it was Ryan, because I'm like, I know it's a super white man name.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's great. He's a great pilot. He's cute. He's personable.
As far as we can tell behind masks.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes,
His head of hair would have sold me. Like, I don't know that it mattered what his teeth looked like. That head of hair.
Nah, I don't. I think his teeth were great. Like, his teeth were he probably had fantastic teeth.
The important things,
Yeah. So we get off. They're hitting it off.
So embarrassing.
We get off the helicopter, right? And because
we're not hitting it off. We're just talking.
Who's telling the story?
I gotta wrangle it in for perspective.
Hitting it off. We get off the helicopter. We go back into the center, right? Because I have eyeballs and a brain, I'm like, yo, I'm going to get these to space, right? I'm going to let magic happen because I'm a fantastic wing woman.
True. So, that is very true.
Thank you. So I kind of, I'm trying to like separate. Tyler's standing right there. He's not saying anything because he's obviously waiting. He's waiting for the inevitable. So I try to step away from Brittany, and this dummy turns around to me and says in the loudest and harshest Connecticut accent,
I gotta use the bathroom.
No, I asked you if you wanted to use the bathroom before we left.
No.
But everything else was true. I didn't say I gotta use the bathroom.
By the time we turn around, Tyler's gone. And I look at Brittany with so much disgust and contempt.
Not the first time. Certainly not the first time.
Certainly not the last, I'm sure. Brittany has a habit of blocking her blessings. That's the moral of the story. She just has this habit of blocking her blessings. And then afterward, right? Afterward, like, Brittany, you missed your chance, man. Better luck next time.
We literally got in
learn.
the car, and you were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" It took me forever to realize what was going on.
Forever.
And then you called me out, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And then I immediately realized that I was in love, and I had to figure out how to
She had to figure it out. So then Brittany tells her therapist.
Oh, no.
Tell the people what your therapist told you to do.
She told me to contact him. Figure out a way to contact him. And so my crazy brain is like, yes, logically, that makes perfect sense. Like, I'm never going to, like, if I never see him again, who knows? He could be the man of my dreams. I don't think I have one of those, but this man, I'm good at stalking. This man was the hardest man to track down ever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So eventually, I figured out his email after like a week of sleuthing and emailed him, and I never heard back.
Do you know why you never heard back?
Because that's a crazy thing to do.
It's fucking insane. It's a fucking crazy Tumblr teen weird thing to do, bro.
I'm just a Tumblr teen cottagecore lesbian at heart. Is that not accurate?
No, that's hella fucking accurate. Oh gosh. Wow. So this whole time I've not liked Brittany's therapist because I felt like that was terrible advice. It was terrible advice.
You didn't like her before that though, because that happened after you left, and you didn't like her when we were talking about. I think we were sitting on the beach, and I said something about her, and you were like, "I don't like your therapist."
I can't remember what that was.
I can't either.
But I don't like her. I mean, I clearly had a reason. That was terrible advice, Brittany. You gotta come on.
I mean, maybe she's a hopeless romantic, and that's where she was speaking. I don't know her situations either. Like the people she's talked to, I don't know. I don't know why people give the advice that they give.
But this person's a professional. You know, like, but this isn't.
She's not a relationship expert. I'm not in couples therapy, you know. That would be a problem. She's just my regular crazy therapist.
Yeah, Brittany loves her therapist.
You know, she's given me good advice. She's given me some good advice. She's gotten me through a lot of shit. I've been with her for almost 4 years, longest I've had a therapist and like stayed with them. Everyone has their flaws, but it's working for me right now. With, you know, a few exceptions. No one's perfect.
Right. Oh gosh. So have you talked to her this week? You've been kind of going through some things.
Yo, there's been so much shit going on.
What's happening?
Oh my God. There were some I don't know where to start. I feel like I should go in reverse chronological order. My aunt called me today and told me that she might have breast cancer. So that's yikes. The latest. That's the latest fun one. Just got back from Connecticut. My grandparents are dying. So I haven't been home in 2 years because of the pandemic. I could have gone like a couple of months ago probably, but you know, with that exception, I really couldn't go any sooner. And they have aged so much and lost so much weight. And just like my grandfather's dementia is not good. He has good days and bad days, like most dementia, Alzheimer's patients, but sometimes he doesn't remember who I am when I talk to him on the phone. He knew me when I got there, so I was thankful for that. But yeah, he's having a really hard time. And my grandmother's really sick. It's really taking a toll on her because she's taking care of him. So she's like 90 pounds. She used to be over 200. So like she lost half of a person. She's just like, she looks terrible. She's weak. She's gray, just like not good. And she has her own health issues too. So they're moving into assisted living on Friday, and they've never moved. Mm-hmm. My grandmother's lived in that house since she was like 12 years old. She lived in the cellar because her parents were too drunk to build the rest of the house. But my grandmother got married to my grandfather when they were 15. My grandfather was 18. I don't want to go into the legality of that. They've lived there their whole lives. So like they've never moved. They've never had to like pack things. They don't know what to pack. They don't know what they need. They're not moving like everything because they can't take everything. They don't need everything. So there's just like a lot of stuff going on. And then, you know, all the family members are coming with their hands out like, oh, I want that. And I want that. Meanwhile, like I don't want any of these family heirlooms. They don't mean anything to me. Not that they're not, you know, symbolic or sentimental or anything like that, but like it's not worth starting a whole family war over. And I'm not gonna have kids. Like I don't want to give them to I don't have anyone to give them to, you know, wedding dresses and wedding rings and like coin collections and just like all of that stuff that people collect, which is just weird. Like why are we collecting these things? That's another topic, but so there's a lot of that going on. My mom's trying to create boundaries with them. She's having a hard time like doing that. You know, she's 60 years old now. So like, how do you even do that? It's a lot of drama. And then everyone else in the family is mad at my mom and me because we're not doing enough. So there's just a lot of tension and people aren't talking to each other and all of that. So that's been going on for the past few months. I started spiraling downwards when I had some like repressed memories come out, and didn't realize some stuff that had happened when I was a kid. Always had like it back, like in the back of my head, thought something was up, but like didn't actually know, couldn't remember anything. And then all of a sudden out of the blue, it showed up. But yeah, so there's just like not one area of my life that's particularly going well.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's like, you know, there's just like physically I'm okay, with the exception of the toll that mental health takes on your physical health. But I started working with a personal trainer, which has been really cool and fun.
That's good.
Because I'm not interested in going to the gym anymore. I'm not like, I don't want to be objectified. It's gross in there, like gross, dirty, gross, in terms of people and in terms of just like, it's gross. It's fucking expensive. I'd rather have like the individualized attention. It forces me to go because we have set appointments, all of that stuff. So that's been good.
That's good.
Yeah. And Ralph's good.
Ralph
in my lap, of course.
Fantastic boy. What a good boy.
Thank God. It's the only consistent thing in my life.
Yeah, no, that's a lot to be dealing with all at once. And like you have a very small family, so it's not even like you can like call up a sister or a cousin to.
Exactly. I'm an only child and the only grandchild and the only great grandchild, which now my great grandmother's dead, but and my great grandfather died before I was born. But like everything is on me. Like everyone's leaving me all of these things. I've had great aunts leave me things that if they didn't have kids. I have no first cousins. I have no siblings. I'm not close. My father remarried, but like I'm not close to those kids. I am seeing my half sister this weekend, however.
Oh,
haven't seen her in 17 years.
Wow.
She's now an adult, which is very strange. But
so are you?
Yeah, I guess that's true too. I wasn't even an adult back then.
Yeah.
So we've been talking for a few years. So we'll see what happens.
What are you planning to do this weekend?
Her boyfriend has a sister who lives in San Francisco, and they're gonna go visit the sister, and then they're gonna drive 2.5 hours to me. I'm driving 2.5 hours to them. We're gonna explore some part of California we haven't been to, probably full of Trump supporters, so that'll be fun. But there's wineries there, so I'll just drink with the anti-vaxxers. And we got an Airbnb. We're just gonna hang out for the night, and then I have to be back by noon on Sunday, so it'll be a short trip. It's sad, especially because I have to, we're both driving, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to keep it short just in case things don't go well. There's an end to this, and we both have to leave. I think it'll be fine, but
yeah, it'll be fine.
It's nice to have it out. So I don't know. We're probably just gonna hang out and get dinner or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could always leave things to your siblings' children.
Yeah, assuming that they're gonna have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 31, so I'm sure at some point, my friends are starting to have kids and whatever. So I'll have godchildren, or I will be auntie, whatever. So it's not like I won't have that, but right now it's very, I have some of my friends I've had for a long time, but I'm not sure that they're going to be here for another 20, 30, 40, 50 years, however long I live. There's a lot of mortality and ending and realizing the impermanence of things. I never thought my grandparents would have to sell their house. So that was a struggle, because that's the house that I grew up in.
Yeah.
My family bought it when they got off the boat, and now it's not going to be in the family anymore. So it's weird. So it's and there he is. There's Ralph.
Hey, man.
Always making an appearance.
Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution. I don't know what you're going to do now that you're over there. You're going to get stuck.
I had a cat. Her name was Duchess. She was white with a little...
That's who I'm thinking of. Duchess.
Yeah, she was white with a little patch on her face. And I went away to college, and she got out of the house, and my dad didn't let her back in. And she died on the streets. And I've never forgiven my father for that. Dead serious.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. That's fucked up. There's no reason
still upset about that to this day. Duchess, she was a big cat. She liked to be held like a baby. That was her favorite position to be in. I had some.
Mine too.
Yeah, I had iguanas growing up.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah, I had some iguanas. I had an iguana, and my sister had an iguana, and then my sister went off to college. Yeah. Well, they, depending on they get, mine died, so they didn't get that.
Jesus. What is that animal? It's like Pet Cemetery over there.
Things happen.
We also had, you loved Simba, the farm cat at college. And I remember you liking chipmunks.
I did, until I realized that chipmunks are also just mice.
But you just thought they were little punk asses, and I think that's what you liked about them. You didn't want one. You were just look at that chipmunk. You beats the shit out of the other chipmunk. I like that. That's
that would be amazing. I remember I remember one time I was trying to heat up cookies in
oh my God,
a microwave. And I set one on fire. And so, because it's Vermont, my quick thinking, because I'm a genius, I'm an actual genius. So my quick thinking,
very true.
I just, the ground's covered in snow. So I just threw the fucking cookie out the window. It's a fucking on fire cookie. You throw it in the snow. Problem solved. long story short, a chipmunk came and stole the half that wasn't burnt of the cookie. And I'm like, I fucking love these animals.
Fucking smart ass chipmunk.
They're
I
amazing.
forgot about how many fucking chocolate chip cookies we had in college.
Oh yeah.
Why? There were so many.
So many of those. Also so much pizza. There was just
I don't remember eating a lot of pizza. I remember eating a lot of fries.
Pizza.
Well, I mean, anytime we have like an event or whatever, we had pizza. Yeah.
And like I didn't even like pizza, but it was just free.
No,
it was there.
I know.
I was always drunk, so it's
Right.
you gotta
Pizza
eat the
and beer
pizza.
is perfect. Oh man. I can't even say the good old days because like I think I was enjoying it at the time, but like I didn't really know. And I only enjoy it looking back because it was easier, I think. In like terms of like food was provided, shelter was provided more or less. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to deal with all this adult shit. And I liked learning. Like I liked, going to school and like I mean we just partied all the time. Like what's not to love? But I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean yeah, my experience was obviously different from yours because I had different concerns. But I also think at the time I don't know if I'd say I was deeply unhappy in college. Like I was just like dealing with a lot.
Well, like, are you not deeply unhappy now?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty great.
I'll just sit over here with that.
No, I mean, not deeply. Am I 100% satisfied with my life at the moment? No, definitely not.
You feel like you're making strides though.
I feel like this is the thing. This is so I have my my bouts with depression.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I try to fight to keep in mind, I often fail, but one thing I try to remember is that like I am doing pretty well. You know what I mean? Like when I was struggling, in college or any other point in my life, it's vastly different. I live a very vastly different life than I did even 5-6 years ago. It's much more stable. I have good connections with people, all that type of shit. I know myself a lot better. But there are some things I think that become so ingrained in who you are that it's hard to get away from those. Like you get into this comfort zone of being like uncomfortable, but you really don't know how else to break out of it and deal with it. Yeah,
you don't know what comfortable is.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. So deeply unhappy. No, I would say no. Fully, I give myself a 60-40 on the happiness ratio.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on the
reevaluating.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm on the precipice, hopefully, of like some good things happening. So part of that optimism factors into like that 60%, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's where I am. But, in college, I was, a completely, like I had a lot going on and it was very difficult. It's also why I think that whole like an adult at 18 thing is bullshit. Because you really, you don't have time. Your brain doesn't have time to process.
I don't think you have a life experience.
Yeah, that first 18 years of your life, in order to even be able to like learn from it and redirect or whatever, like you just don't have enough time. But would I would definitely, I think I've talked about this with you before. Like I would definitely like change some things about how I went about college. But then I remember like I was in a situation where I didn't have a lot of control over various things. So I can't be too hard on myself about some of those choices I've made.
Right.
That's the other thing too. Like, just like I have this deep need to like self-punish. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm always forgetting that, like, bro, chill, like give yourself a break. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was like maybe 30% your fault. You gotta relax.
We're all so hard on ourselves.
Yeah, it's difficult. So I don't know. I don't really know. Like I've never been to therapy.
But you're a psych major, so I feel
I am
like
a psych major.
that makes, for better or for worse, that makes a difference.
Yeah, well, I think maybe because I am, I'm always feeling these things, and then also like acutely aware of what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling them. And so in a way that might make it worse. I don't know. It makes me really good at helping other people, giving other people advice. So that's what's up.
Ralph butt.
Ralph butt.
Ralph just likes to make an appearance. I was thinking about this recently too, because, there's so much death around me. It feels like lately, literally and figuratively, just like it just feels like the seasons are changing in my life. And, I'm kind of going back and forth on if I regret ending some of the relationships and friendships that I ended. Mm-hmm. Even though because at the time it felt like I was making the right decision. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, now those people are dead. Should I have just hung on for as horrible and toxic as that situation was? Should I just have dealt with it for a few more years to have whatever good memories would have happened, even though they come with all of the bad stuff too, just to have those memories. Like, I don't know. I'm just very in my feelings about the whole, whole thing.
No, I would say definitely not. Definitely not. I think, first of all, it takes like a good amount of strength and fortitude to end any type of relationship with a person. And I think that that always outweighs whatever, I've been in very toxic friendships, right? They're all still alive, but they are very, very toxic. And I've gotten out of those friendships. And whatever, while I was in those friendships, there were fun times, there are crazy stories, there are experiences that are great podcast fodder, but they were so harmful to me in such deep ways that the net good, the net positive that came from ending those relationships trumps whatever fleeting good memory that I might have had for that person. You don't want to. It's when a woman gets into a relationship with an alcoholic, and it's he's great when he's not drinking. You know what I mean? You don't have to live like that with anyone. You don't want to.
Or he beats me, but I got these two great kids out of it.
Yeah. You don't have to live like that. You don't, as I'm getting older, what I'm realizing is that you really don't have to live with discomfort in any form. You don't have to just be okay with unfulfilling, unsatisfying, or toxic relationships. You don't have to just be okay with, being taken out at the 2 for $20. You know what I mean? You don't have to be okay with the bare minimum.
You go to 2 for $20? I always had to pay.
I don't pay.
I'm kidding.
You know that.
I think that's what I'm thinking about too. I had that horrible relationship when I in and out of college, throughout college, and that you gracefully ended for me by sending the final text. And I reconciled kind of things with him 3 years after that, which thank God I had that and we didn't end on such a horrible note. But But now he's dead. And so it's like, should I have just dealt with how horrible that was? Because obviously I can deal with all of the trauma and all of the narcissism and all the abuse and all of the shit that I dealt with because I got through it. Should I have just suffered through? And this is totally like my heart and like just what it's feeling. Logically, I know the answer to this, but I'm struggling with this paradox between these two. Should I have just suffered through all of that because I know I could get through it just for those days when he was sober, when he was good, when we did have good memories? Because even as bad as everything was, it still had such an impact on my life in good ways that it feels like I shouldn't have, or not that I shouldn't have, but now I regret not that I knew back then he was going to die, but I kind of regret not having more time. Sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, that's some really damaged thinking.
I know. And I realize that's, I don't really want to do that. Obviously I can't do that, but if he was still here, I don't think I would feel that way. I think it's just like this whole, I don't want to lose anymore. I just feel like I'm grieving so much. I can't afford to lose anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's all right. You don't have to know. Not to,
Oh no.
always bring up.
I love the way you drop your wisdom. It's my favorite.
But no, I understand what you're talking about in terms of just the constant loss. Obviously I lost my mom, about that. People don't know. I lost my mom a few years ago. But I've gone through periods where I've lost aunts and grandparents that I was really close to in the span of months from each other, on both sides of the family, weird things. I lost my aunt when I was in college. I had a really bad breakdown.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was really bad. I cared about her a lot and all of that. So I get what that feeling of being surrounded by death and then being confronted with your own mortality and then also the mortality of the people who are left surrounding you and being terrified of that. But the thing is you go on through life and not that those people are ever replaced, but there are so many new experiences and people and things that you haven't even met yet that are going to be added to your life. That one, not saying there was only one, but that one toxic relationship, you know what I mean? It happened and it ended. And who's to say that, had you stayed in there longer, first of all, you can't handle it. You can't handle the toxicity. You can't handle the abuse. You can't handle any of that because it's all these years later and it's still in your mind and you're still, working through that shit in therapy. So no, you really couldn't. You couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying? This goes back to what I'm talking about we don't have to be okay with not being okay. We don't have to be okay with being uncomfortable. We don't have to settle for that. You know what I mean? It's okay to have higher expectations of the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's okay to sit down and be yeah, I care about this person, but if they cared about me as much as I cared about them, they would meet me where I'm at in this.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to say that. You know what I mean? So I really hope you work through that pain in your heart that you're going through right now, because I don't want you to be living in regret or living in the past, because it's really nowhere to be.
Yeah, I really think it's just temporary with everything that's going on. But this whole conflicting feelings between what I feel and what I know to be true has been a constant throughout my life, and something that I always struggle with almost every difficult situation that I'm in. Whatever I'm thinking or whatever I know to be true, whatever's logical and whatever I now act on is not what I'm feeling. I used to just act on the feelings because I thought, oh, that's trusting my gut, that's trusting my intuition, whatever. It's not. It's like my wounded inner child, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where those feelings are coming from. I think they're just very deep. And so I don't act on those anymore. But those feelings are still there, and I still struggle with that. And it's just confusing.
Yeah.
I want everything to be in sync,
Yeah. I don't know if that ever happens. I don't know who that happens for, everything being in sync.
I think you have to pick one thing where it's happening in your life and work on that one thing. And then it's in sync in that area. And then you can apply that to other things that are bothering you. And eventually you get there, but years of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's there's so much backtracking, it's one step forward and 5 steps back. It
seems always.
Like
Yeah.
So it's always, it's fun being a human. I love having consciousness. This is great.
Oh, man.
Self-awareness?
Oh.
Fuck yes. Sign me up for more.
Oof. Reincarnate me as a fucking slug. I've had near death experiences in that I've almost been killed, but I've never had the actual near death experience. But my sister did. My sister was in Mexico, I don't know, a bunch of years ago. And she almost drowned because she doesn't know how to swim. No, she did drown because she died, almost died. Anyway, none of us know how to swim. My sister, it doesn't stop my sister from getting into very deep pools because she's an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
But anyway, she drowns, and she said that, I'm going to paraphrase her. She might listen to this and be like, "You completely misquoted me, you piece of shit." But basically, what she said is it was she didn't even care, as she was dying, it kind of she didn't care about dying. That's what dying was like. It was this
That's great.
And I'm wait, that doesn't sound so bad. If that, because I'm terrified of death, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm if the natural neural, the natural neural reaction to death is just a huge release of hormones that make you be yo, man, had a good run. You know what I mean? I'm into that. I'll take that. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to be aware that I'm dying. I'm terrified of that.
I would expect the opposite because we're so hardwired to stay alive so that we can breed and reproduce and raise children. That I would think that our brains would be you gotta get out of here right now. This is horrible. Just telling you whatever you need to. It needs to tell you to get the fuck out of that situation. Yeah. So that's kind of nice to know that was her experience.
Yeah.
I feel like that on a daily basis. I'm well, this is the way I go. I'll be laying in bed and hear a noise and I'll be this is my time. Richard Ramirez Part 2. Here it comes.
I had a good run. I every time I know that there are people who are afraid to get on planes because they're afraid of planes crashing.
Yeah.
And I've never had that fear because I'm I'm gonna die way, but it's gonna be immediate. I'll be
right.
It's not that big of a deal.
When I was getting on I think my last flight, I had it was in Connecticut, which makes sense. This husband and wife and their kids were all traveling together, and the wife was "How's our life insurance?" And I was "What the fuck?" And then the kids were "Are you kidding me?" And they were apparently joking, but I was "That's not funny. This is not the time or place to do that." I panicked.
No, she's right though. I mean,
she's right, but I don't know that that's like where we should be living. I don't think that's like a healthy place to be thinking from, with your maybe bad role model for your kids. Her kids were like teenagers, but I don't know.
I mean, so I will say this. So my mom was very preoccupied with death. Her father, who she was incredibly close to, died when she was very young, and I think that like really shaped like her view on death and permanence and things like that, because her life was pretty much hell after that. But my mom was convinced that she was going to die at like 45. And literally, I my entire life, I'm talking like 4 or 5, 6 years old, my mom would talk about her death very candidly. Like she would make sure that we knew like how she wanted her funeral to go and those types of things. And when she died, that was actually such a comfort to me that she had been able to talk about those things. And I was so desensitized is not the right word, because I think desensitized has like a negative connotation maybe now. Yeah, like I was just very like, this is, we know for sure. Like, first of all, there was very, I can't even think of like really any like bickering or disagreements or back and forth, like, because we all knew exactly what she wanted, and it just worked out really well. And I was like, it was just, I was like, good looking out, Robin. Thanks for making this easy on all of us. It doesn't change the fact that like, I'm I'm trying to live. So I would like to live. I think I'd like to make it to like 89. I'm good with making it to like 89.
Good round number.
I used to think like 80, right? Because I'm like, what is life after
90?
80? Well, what's life at 90?
What's life at 88?
I might be okay at 88.
I feel like this all depends on so many factors.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I mean, I'm sure you've thought about it.
The thing is, like, I don't want to be too old. Like, I would never want to be so old that I like am in pain all day, every day, and can't take care of myself. I don't want to be that kind of old.
I don't want to be slow. I see these people out here fucking walking around. I'm like, I don't have time. Like, I never want my life to be that slow.
Just get yourself a little scooter. Yeah, just get a little scooter.
All right. I'll get a little scoot.
Scoot. But yeah, I'm terrified of like arthritis. You know what I mean? Like I just don't want
like no fun.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No fun.
It's not. So, in my 30s, I should have done this earlier, but due to a variety of factors, including poverty, I wasn't able to take, I wasn't able to take the best care of myself in my younger years. So in my 30s, I've been trying to do a really good job of like, but that also goes into like unlearning, old habits. I hate going to the doctor. I hate going to get checked out, but I because I don't want to be fallen apart old person, I know that I have to take care of these things. I'm working on it. I'm trying.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
Everything is a fucking struggle, it seems. We just got to make it more interesting.
Life is hard.
Get crazy with it.
Get crazy with it.
At least that'll be fun, I guess.
No, it's
Pretend
true.
It's fun?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have some experiences. This goes back to kind of like college and the crazy shit that happened, all in the experience bucket. Which is fine.
Word.
It's fine.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Well, on that note, thanks for joining us, everybody. And we'll talk to you next time.
Deuces.